Okay, this is I need glasses. I'm getting so old, but this is Cliff Thomas. This is for Mr. Eric. 英文名字就是 Eric Kong. I forgot his Chinese 你中文名字我不看看 Eric. But yeah, so all right, yeah, the end of both of our terms and the end of the good Kong family's academic term. So another summer is upon us. So that's good news. So waiting on Eric. And then what did he bring today? Oh yeah, good. We'll see which one he wanted to do. Good. Just waiting on Eric. It's my son's teaching him English. Here's Mr. Kong. Yeah, that's great. Hey, man.
Hello, it's nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you. You're for some reason I can see the backlight. Oh, maybe because you're in front of the window and it's nighttime already.
Yeah, I am in front of the window and
Yeah,
the light is a little bit strong compared
that's
to, mm, yeah,
Yeah,
compared
no, that's all
to
right.
the
That's
window
right. You're
reflecting the
yeah,
light.
you're backlit. You're not front
Yes.
lit, but that's all right. Yeah, I've got the light above me. So how are you doing? How was so that's it, right? For summer. Or now you have summer.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nearly summer.
Good. So how was it was good. You had another good year, another good term.
Yes.
Very good, my friend. Good, good, good. Oh, I'm spilling a little bit. Did you what was I gonna say? Do you guys have class ranks again at the end, or you just have marks or grades?
So it's not the end. We have already finished I think three-fourths of the semester, but we still have a quarter to go.
Okay.
And finally, some of the subjects will just give A, B, or C, but most of them will give the specific scores.
Yeah. Nice. Excellent. I forgot. So is this is 你中文名字就是空 Ziyu.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
your
that's
that's
my
Kong
Chinese name.
Ziyu. That's funny because I just said that waiting for you on the recording. I said I keep forgetting Eric's, your real name, your Chinese name. So when you go to if you study abroad, are you going to use Eric or are you going to use Kong Ziyu?
So I would use Eric plus a cone.
Yeah. Eric plus Ko? Kong. Kong.
Eric Kong because
Kong,
yeah,
yeah.
Kong is what like
Your
our
family
family
names.
have.
Yeah, your family heritage. Good. Yeah. I keep forgetting in China it's reverse. The
Yeah,
family name
simply
comes
it's
first.
reverse.
Yeah, because then my wife is Chao Bo, but then my yeah, and Lao Cho, her father, right? Chao. So it's Chao. Chao is her family name.
Yes.
Interesting. All right, very good, brother. So I know you were busy, but let's continue. Continue in French, right? It means to continue. So we will
Yes.
continue. All right, Eric. I think maybe you're keen on French. Maybe that could be a third language you'd like to learn.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, French is all right, man. If I yeah, I like French. French is cool. I like Spanish just because if you know Spanish, Chinese, and English, you can communicate with, right, so many people in the world.
Yes.
But I guess India, did you see that, Eric, where India has surpassed China? I think this was like our since our last session with the most people in a country.
Yes, I've
Yeah.
heard about that. Its
Yeah.
population is growing so fast.
Yeah, so it used to be, yeah, China for the longest, right? Forever, for so many years, and now it's finally China. Or no, finally India, sorry. All right, so wait, oh, this was a new one. This was a IELTS?
Hmm. Well, I'm not sure. My mother just found it for me. I'm not sure if it's an
Okay, okay.
IELTS, but
Okay.
yeah, it's very interesting.
But where is the question then? Did you oh, this is it.
Here.
Oh, this is it. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
All right.
in the
Yeah.
four line.
All right. It looks just like I'll do no spacing for this, and then we can make it different here. Then I'll do make it highlighted in different font. Good. You're in with the Times New Roman. That's good. Of course, IELTS, right, Eric? You won't have to worry about any of this business, right? Because it will probably already be set up for you. You won't, that's only for academic essays that you'll probably still be asked to do that, right? Even though things are
Yes.
changing. So yeah, this is what I was saying before. So this is more British. Even though I do this, everything is so intertwined, especially with globalization, that language seems to go and float more speedily or speedily uh, than ever before, right? Because we've got the internet. So I
Yes.
like, yeah. So where it was clearly like we had separated from England, but there were still remnants of American English because of like a second or third generation, and then we completely changed American English and British English. We changed, like, I would say, that last century, the last century. But now we're getting like now because we're together more and we're right. It's the same language, right? That you're communicating more and you're seeing more. That it's
Yes.
yeah, that it's coming closer together. But this was always called the Cambridge comma. Right, I think we talked about this before, right? And you've heard of
Yes.
Cambridge before, right? I've sent you that
Yeah.
video, right?
Yes.
Cambridge, England, right? Where who's I always forget that. Oh, Stephen Hawking, right? The famous professor
Mm,
of what was he? The professor of physicist, right? Of physics. Well,
mm,
physicist, of planetary physicist. So he was from there, and he was a tenured professor there. But Cambridge University, very famous. So that would just be called a Cambridge comma. Um, that comes before the and so Cambridge. Hence, Americans would never. We would never hardly ever do that. But I've been doing that now for like the last 10 years. So that right
yes.
off the bat here, I can tell that your mom got it from IELTS, right? Because it's a British way of doing things. All right, so reading the description here, the diagram shows the water cycle, which is a continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. Okay. Summarize. Ah, interesting. Summarize. But why? Oh, it is though. You corrected me before. Summarize in British English or in UK is with a Z, right? Or
Yes.
A Z. Oh yeah, I think you corrected me another session ago. All right, summarize. See, that's horrible to start with a verb. It should be to summarize or please summarize the information.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not keen on that, but that's right. All right, summarize the information by selecting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. Okay, write at least 150 words. Did you count how many words you typed up?
Well, I didn't, but I think that's way over.
Okay, yeah, I believe so. I believe you're right. And again, it's for the exam. It's much better to be over than under, right? Fabulous. Good. That's almost too much, but if you've got the time, you're proving how great you are, right? In English writing. So do it, right? If you know the topic and as you know where you're rocking and rolling, you're typing up, um, yeah, write as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's I would if I was the examiner, I'd be like, great. Wow, this kid's good. All right, so water is the most common substance in nature. Uh, Common. Why would you say common, Eric? I'm thinking of a different word,
Um,
a synonym.
yeah, a
Well, not really a
synonym,
synonym, but a closely associated word, a different word than to be common.
usual,
Yeah, that's better. Um, well, you could say prevalent.
yeah,
You could say to be prevalent, right? It's another word for common. To be prevalent, or to be prevalent is a verb.
yes,
It's something can be, or a prevalent object. Prevalent, that can be a descriptor, right? So that's an adjective.
yes,
Um, However, I was thinking water is the most abundant, right? Do you know what abundant means?
um, yeah, I've heard of it, so it means, be rich in something, or
Yeah, again,
there's
like,
plenty of something.
yeah, I don't want to waste our time anymore, like looking it up in the dictionary. So I'm just going to highlight that. Like that's something you should all again always be doing, right? To increase your vocabulary. Look it up online, and just get to know it, get to know the word. That's a good way of memorizing, right? Memorizing the word. So abundant just means it's plentiful. Another word, plentiful. It's the most prevalent, as we just said. It's of a natural resource outside of air.
Mm,
Obviously, oxygen is something, right? Is a natural resource, or well, it could be
mm,
considered a substance. But all right, so water is the most abundant substance in nature. Okay, and a necessity for, well, you could almost say animal survival, right?
yeah,
For animal survival. That's more inclusive, and they
yes,
and they love these Western exams. They love inclusivity. There's a big word for you, right, Eric?
yes,
Inclusivity. What do you think that means? That is a verb, I think, on the way I'm using.
yeah, and so inclusivity, I think it means in a sentence or a word or a phrase, you need to contain as much as you can mean,
Yeah,
in
no, yeah, that's pretty good,
the
right? To be,
content.
yeah, to be inclusive. Um, Maybe all presidents, right, of their country want to include everyone, right? All
Yeah,
their countrymen, people, right? They want to include, so that it's inclusivity is bringing the act of bringing everyone together, right?
yes,
Be inclusive. Okay, so abundance of it is necessary for animal survival and development. Good. Okay, the picture illustrates. Yeah, I like that. I would start off, maybe I'm being really picky here, right? Like, I don't think this is not that big, but I would start off, it's good to show your lexicon, which is how they're going to grade you on the IELTS exam, right?
yes,
How much English you actually know and use appropriately. However, they also want you to make sense, right, at the beginning. So I would use
I
when the
agree.
word, yeah, exactly. So I would use the words the first time around, right?
Yes,
And then say, and you could say the picture, the image, right? Other synonyms of diagram. But
yes,
the diagram illustrates, and here's another little trick, but this is again being very specific. So if you are typing and you know that they are going to see this image with your writing, you could also, to be more specific for the reader, again, you are writing for the reader to understand, right? Your totality, right, of
mm,
everything, right? You're pretending that the reader hasn't even read this, right? The
yeah,
instructions or the directions. You want to be so clear and so concise in your answer. So you could almost say the above diagram, right? Because then you draw
Yeah.
their attention to the diagram while they're reading this, right? Just another little trick. You can or you can't, it's up to you. So I'll do that with images. I didn't like in my book, I didn't put pictures. So I did put pictures, just a couple though, but not inserts, right? But I would
Yes.
say, like, if you're writing a book or something, you'd say, well, as the picture later on in this book shows, right? You
Yes.
draw the reader's attention to where you want to, kind of like a magician, right? You're drawing, right? Like, don't look at the salt and pepper shaker, right? Misdirection, but you want them, you're the master. You're trying to lead the reader to where you want them in any language, right? This is hopefully right
Yes.
up your help your Chinese writing as well, right? Like you draw, you're the master of the conversation, right? Of how you draw them in. So water is the most abundant substance in nature and a necessity for animal survival and development. The diagram illustrates the process of water circulation in nature. Good. Now, what's that in English again?
Um,
When you're using it twice in
the
English literature?
redundant
Yes,
usage.
it's a little bit redundant, and plus, I
Yes.
hate using I hate using prepositions at the end.
Yes.
So how would you make that better? That sentence.
Yeah, just delete it because first it's redundant and the second water circulation is obviously in
Yes,
nature.
yes, perfect. But then again, you're leaving yourself open to another dangling preposition, right?
Yes.
Um, yeah, how could you try to make this one better? That's okay, it's good, but how could you include
Um,
water be inclusivity, right, of the water circulation?
the diagram illustrates water circulation's process.
Yes, water circulations and then possessive. Yeah, that's good. There's many ways to do that, right, Eric? That's good though.
Yes.
Water circulations. And this took me years to water circulations, right? Shouldn't it be that way? Process? Because
Mm,
it's water circulations, it's circulations, pluralized.
yeah, there should be some circulations.
Yeah. So I think I'm right with that. Process. Yeah, it took me years to well, not I'm still not no one's a master writer. I don't care. Everyone's still, you're not a great writer. If you think you're a great writer, you're not a great writer, right? Like you can always, it's a skill that you can always improve and again, in any language. But I think it does help you in English, right? And then maybe some Western languages not to use dangling prepositions. Okay. So water is the most abundant substance in nature and a necessity for animal survival and development. The diagram illustrates water circulations. Yes, process, possessive. We can learn about how water. Okay, you want to use is that passive or what is I forgot again, I'm not a grammatist, Eric, right? That wasn't, but we can learn. Is that passive, future passive tense? Are you sure you want to use can in there?
I'm not sure. So can is just the common state.
The constant, right? But if we just say we learn,
Yeah, we can also delete the can.
all right. Yeah, again, I give you what we do, that's just I just think you're giving credit, right, to the image. You're giving it guanxi, right, a little respect, then you can draw from it. That's either 50-50. I don't think that
Yeah.
matters that much. Moreover, from the directions of the arrows, ah, right, again,
Yeah, the arrow's directions.
yes, the arrows directions, right. Moreover, from the arrows, and again, this is right, possessive arrows directions, right?
Yes.
Arrows directions. Oh, and again, look, it even looks better, right? Um, right. If you cut it out, again, you want it to look
Yeah.
just actually without reading it, you want it to look pretty, right? You want to look nice. All right. Moreover, from the arrow's directions, we comprehend the water circulatory. That's kind of a big word. I know you're trying to show off um, on the IELTS exam, right? Your lexicon, your big words. I would just say C,
Yes.
because that, like, do you really comprehend? Like, that's a big comprehension.
Yeah.
Um, Moreover, from the arrow's directions, we see the water circulatory sequence. Yeah, that's good. I like that. And again, sequence and process are synonyms, so you're showing your lexicon. That's good, Eric. Really good. Okay, at the first step, at the top of the Grand Mountains, it is covered with pure white snow. That's a rather cumbersome. That's a rather cumbersome sentence. How could you? What do you think? How could you make this better?
Um. mm,
It doesn't read very smoothly, right?
Um. Yeah, I think we can say, uh, at the first step, um, the Grand Mountains are covered with pure white snow.
Okay. Also, right? So this is a mountain, but I would illustrate that to the reader. I would say on the mountaintop,
Yes.
right? So on the mountains. Now that's just one, so that's one mountain possessive, right? Mountains peak
Yes.
or top, peak or top. It is, get rid of this junk, right? It is covered with pure white snow. Okay. Because, starting off a sentence with because. I know, I think this is a continuous sentence, right?
Yeah.
So on the mountain's top, it is covered with pure white snow because of the sun's heat. Because of the sun's heat. Huh. Does that make scientific sense? That it's covered with snow because of
Yes,
the heat?
what I want to say, the covered is with snow on on the peak or top of the mountain is what we can see from the picture or the uh biograph. And then because there is also a sun and it produces much heat, and because of the rising heat, the ice will melt and then turn into its liquid form.
Yeah, see, as of right now, your English speaking, the way your brain works, Eric, is much better than your writing skills, right? So that's my goal, to help you get, what it, like, to really you think in English. And my goal is to help you just to, fingers, head to fingers, right? And just type how you're thinking. However, again, brother, I would use this, man. Use that dictation tool, right? I
Yes,
mean, your English pronunciation is perfect, so it will help you. I think it will help you, right, to quicken or to get that process from your head
yes,
to your fingers, right? Again, I never had this. I we had, like, no one really told me to ever do that, but I think it's a good process. Like, I mean, we had recorders, like, when I was younger, but it was so cumbersome, and I still had to write papers in handwriting when I was
yes,
younger. So we never had that process. But yeah, I think that would benefit you because, well, you're so far away off. The IELTS exam might be totally different by the time you take it in 2 3 years. But they will not have that feature, right, for
yes,
IELTS. So that's why you need to, you need to try to get better from your brain to your fingers. But that was excellent. I don't remember exactly what you said, but I would be definitely more descriptive and then reverse it. right? Switch it, chung chung. So I would say, due to, right? Due
Yes.
to the sun's heat, snow, right? Snow and ice melt, period. Snow and ice melt. Therefore, I would drop a therefore. These are always great academic, right? Academic, especially for IELTS
Mm,
academia. IELTS, great academic word. So therefore, on the mountain's peak, oh wait, no. Due to the sun's heat, snow and ice melt. I wouldn't do therefore. You don't need therefore. So the mountain's peak is covered with pure white snow. However, the sun's what's another word for well, what would the sun emit? Right? You can omit,
um,
which is something you forget, right? That's a verb. But you can emit something, right? Which is what you give. So what does the sun give off? Heat, or what are these called?
um, light.
It could give off light, sure. It does give off light, correct. But rays, right?
Yeah,
There's a
rays.
famous baseball team in Tampa
Yeah.
called the Devil Ray
The
or Rays.
ultraviolet rays
Yes, ultraviolet, and then there's also the sun rays. There's one sun rays too, I think.
and the
Um,
red type of rays.
and the what? Sorry, Eric?
The red type of rays.
Yeah, red haze. Yes, exactly. So I would say, do the sun's heat, snow, and ice melt, and ice melting. Maybe is that better? Is that better grammar?
Yes.
Do the sun's heat, snow. Do the sun's heat, comma. Do the sun's heat, snow, and ice melt. You don't need a comma in there because they're. Oh yes, I guess you do. Do you? Yeah, snow. Do the sun's heat, comma. I guess I don't know. I think that sounds all right. All right. So
Yes.
the mountain's peak is covered with pure white snow. One. Just however, the sun's rays, right? Again, right? That's what it says. The
Yes.
sun's rays turns it. Oh, turns it, right? Turns it
Yeah.
into liquid. Or turns it into water, Eric. Why are you saying liquid?
So what I think is water, it contains the three states. So saying water, you can both mean the liquid type, which we mainly comprehend in daily life, but it can also mean the solid type and gas type. So I would say liquid.
Yeah, well, gaseous, yeah. Yeah. Is your science teacher is it in Chinese or in English, your science class?
In Chinese.
Yeah. See, I would say it's all water, right? But
Yeah, they are all water.
right, it's a water element, but it comes in it can be in a gaseous, right, vaporous form,
Yes.
or it can be in a solid form, ice.
Yeah, that's true.
But if it's liquid, it's still water, right? It's the liquid.
Yes.
It's not liquid per se, right? Like I'm trying to.
Yes, what I think is liquid, we call it water, and when it's like vapor, we also call it water because that's just the element water.
Well, I'm trying to equate it to something else here. What could be a what else freezes in nature besides water? What else can freeze?
Um,
Can alcohol freeze? Alcohol?
I'm not sure. Yeah,
Beer?
I
I think
remember when
beer
it's
can freeze, right? Beer,
yeah,
PGO.
yes,
So, all right, so beer freezes. Sure, beer can freeze. Yeah, it can be free. So if beer freezes, Eric, right, in the
yeah,
refrigerator in the freezer, and you pull it out, and the sun is shining its rays and it turns to liquid, do you call it liquid or do you call it beer?
Yeah, I would call it beer.
Right. So you see what I'm saying? Like, isn't that
Yeah, I
yeah.
understand.
Okay, all right. Yeah. I think it's just it's a different like how
Yes.
you because well you're so good in both languages, maybe how you translate what your Chinese, right, teacher is saying, right, versus maybe I mean, I
Yes,
don't know.
you
I
would
would say
say
with it's water,
water.
right? It's water.
Yeah,
You could also I mean again, this is similar to using diagram, right? Because it's about water. So then if you use
yes.
it, if you say it again, you could use liquid, right? Because then the reader knows what you're talking about. But right, again, off the bat, you want to be specific and lead the reader, like have the reader know what you're talking about, right? I guess, yeah.
Yes.
All right. However, the sun's rays sun's rays turn it into water. Okay, that's interesting. I would turns it, sun's rays turns it. I would have said turns. Interesting. All right. However, the sun's rays turns it into water. Um, this is a full sentence here, right? However, the sun rays turns it into water. Then, right, then it flows
Yes.
down the mountainous districts. Again, this is kind of cumbersome, Eric. Yeah. You're doing much better on your academic essays. I think maybe like, do you not like the IELTS essays? Do they bother you, or you don't think either way?
Yeah, they do not bother me,
Okay.
and yeah, I am not really sure which type of essay it is.
Do you find them boring though? Like, do you find them like kind of drab? Is another word for boring?
Mm, so for the task one, let me remember they're all about the specific charts. That's a little bit boring, but for the task two, they're really interesting.
Okay, all right, good. Yeah, I'm just trying to like how psychologically how your brain would work on these. However, the sun's rays turn into water. Then I don't even know if you need a comma. I don't think so. Then it flows down the mountainous districts and stretches into yeah. This is too van glorious. There's boy, I'm full of big words today, Eric. So very big English words today. Van glorious. I'll let you look this up later. It's very like very big, very puffery, right? To use these
Yeah.
words. So how could you rephrase this?
Um, then it flows.
Well, let's take a look at it, the picture, right? So there
Yeah.
so it's turning the runoff, right? Groundwater, then it flows.
Yeah, I would say then it flows down the mountains and forms
Yes,
streams.
flows down. Yes, flows down. You can flows down the mountains and and forms. Sorry, and forms is a good word. It
Forms
forms what?
streams. Yeah,
Yeah,
streams.
forms streams or falls down the mountains.
To form streams.
Yeah, two form good, very good, man. Two form streams, excellent, right? Form streams. Again, like yeah, depending on your style of writing these timed exams, right? If you finish early, again, right, try to clear your head, take a breath, look up, look down,
Yes.
relax, and then re-edit it yourself, right? Of what we try to do, right? Just relax and then go through it and
Yes.
pretend you're just reading it for the first time, right? Okay, however, the sun's rays turns it into water, then it flows down the mountain. Then it flows down the mountains.
In
Yes,
mountains.
to form streams. Yeah, again, you're ending it with a preposition, but that's all right. Once in a while is not bad. Eventually, the streams rush down to feed. Eventually, the streams become. Oh, feed or rush. Oh, feed into it would be better, I think, Eric. Better
Yes.
English. Streams. Eventually, the streams feed into, meaning that's almost like inguentois, right? It's almost English slang, but it just means another word for in when you're talking about
Yes.
water or caverns or nature, right? It feeds into something, right? So
Yeah.
eventually the streams feed into rivers and lakes. Good. I'm being very specific for you here. No, that's good. That's all right. Right? You remember the ABCD trick?
Yes.
But that's all right. Rivers
Amazing
and lakes is
words.
that's generally how we say it, right? So in the rivers and lakes across, yeah, you don't even need across, right? Again, with the prepositions, right? Why? Yeah,
Yes.
you don't. That's too much. And again, you're over anyway with so many words, right? So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's good. All right. So in the second process, water do we need, comma? In the second process,
No.
water influxing, is that a word? It's not a word, Eric. Was that did that come up on your the
Yeah,
inf
I didn't remember what I was about to type in, and yeah, that must be an
in
error. What I want.
influx is a
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, influx is a word.
Yeah, meaning like you have you're injecting a lot of information. It's an influx of
Yes.
information. But the process of when you add when you add ing to anything, that's the process of doing something. I don't think you because influx is the process.
Yes.
Right? So, well, yeah, you can't do it over like that's redundant, right? You can't do it influx again, right? You can't continuously
Yes.
influx. So in the second process, water and rivers continue. I would just right again. That's redundant, Eric. Right? All of that.
Yeah.
So let's try to use influx is a good word. It shows your vocabulary, right? If you use it appropriately, right? So in the second process, an influx, an influx of water flows is a good descriptor, right, for water.
Yes.
Flows into the oceans. Again, just try to correct yourself, right, with the prepositions, right? Try not to use these. Do we even need this? In the second process, an influx of water flows into the oceans. Yeah, but you need it because it makes sense. So, yeah, well, you need it as to know where it flows. As the right as the temperature rises, water evaporates and forms humid and moist vapor. That's good. That's good. The vapor will be prompted by the current into the higher atmosphere. The vapor,
Yeah.
right? Hot air
Are
rises, right?
prompted.
That's yeah, science 101, right? So hot, the vapor. And again, this information, some of this might be, right? This is designed for 17 and 18-year olds, Eric, right? So you're learning maybe more information than your science class that they're currently teaching you. So,
Yes.
kudos on that. You're learning another subject too while you're studying for IELTS. But as the temperature rises, water evaporates and forms. Yeah, I guess. This is, I'll be honest, this is in your better, one of your better IELTS essays, but I'll just let me highlight that for you to like change, maybe put a note in there,
Okay.
but I'll put a comment. Um, Eric, try tightening up, which is something my teachers would say. Tightening up. Um, some of your sentences, meaning, right? Less big, cumbersome or cumbersome big, right? Cumbersome
Yes.
big words, English words, in order for it to make more sense to the average reader, right? Again, they want you're pretending that you're what did I do just that? Yeah. You're just pretending that like it's an average person that doesn't know what the heck is
Yeah.
going on, right? So you want to make it as clear as possible, right? So the vapor, okay. The vapor will be prompted in the higher atmosphere. Yeah, again, so both of these, Eric, are kind of like pretty cumbersome. In the last stage, All right. So you did the 3 paragraph format, which is that's good, right? For the 150. So I get it. So that's okay. In the last stage, the heavy clouds or vapors, cold and humid air, convection. There's another one, Eric. Are we using this appropriately, right? Um, Therefore, it causes rain and snow. Yeah, I like these are just yeah, just again, just are rather not loose, but they're rather heavy, right? You want to actually lighten these up, right? Because they're very heavy
Yeah.
English. So rain drops all over the land, and with the help of underground water and assimilation, we don't need a comma. It returns to the ethereal oceans. Um, yeah, I get it. I mean, you're showing off your wonderful English vocabulary and great job. You might get points for that because you do use it well. But is there really a need for it, right? And again, that's a dangling. You're using this as a dangling preposition, right? Snow also drops in areas that contain mountains and bleats of cold airflow. Right, another preposition. From then on, the water. Do we need a comma? From then on, the water cycle. Yeah, I guess we do. From then on, the water cycle process completes and starts a brand new journey. This is good. I like this sentence. That's good, Eric. Um, oh, they wanted hyphenated. I don't know if I would use start with a preposition though. I would
Yes.
say eventually maybe is a good one. Eventually, the water cycle process is complete or completes, right, and starts a brand new journey changing. That's a good one. Water is such a special matter. Yeah, that's a science, very science term. Such a special matter that we humans heavily depend on it or upon it. Upon, that we heavily depend upon. Okay. The water cycle is a process in which water transfers amongst states. Repeats the cycle endlessly. All right, this isn't so bad. Water cycle is meaningful for not only human beings but also yeah. All right, so I see. So yeah, you did. Yeah, okay. I see why you did that, and then but you did finally do animals. But that's all right. I would still put animals up top. Water
Yeah.
cycle is meaningful for not only human beings but also all for all. Water cycles mean for not only human beings, but also all. Yeah, that's all right. Good, Eric. Good. What do they want us to do here? Can, huh? Okay. We humans can witness the mightiness of nature and appreciate how I know they're born and died with this or the ongoing.
Yeah.
Good again. Yeah, again, just the preposition here, buddy. So this part was good. The blue. And but again, right, you really want to make that first paragraph. And again, you need right, like you need to know the psychology of these IELTS examiners, right? You might have the misfortune, but you still have to do your best of being. They might have 100 students. No, they wouldn't have that many. Maybe they
Yes.
would have like 30 students a day, and they may be right. So it's China or India where so many people. So there you might be like there might be 10, like 5 to 10 instructors seeing 30 like constant movement, right? So they're going to be
Yes.
they're tired. It's a long day. I was going to do one. I don't know. It fell through. I was going to be an examiner in Shanghai, but I don't know. I just didn't have time. But it's a long day. It's only a weekend. They pay you like for examiner. They pay you well.
Yeah.
I think it was like 300. Because it's a long day. It's a lot of work for the examiner. So their eyes are tired. They're going to be tired. You might be, it's unfortunate. You might be the 30th student, right? You might be the last one, man. So you
Yes.
want to make it, you have to understand where they're coming from. You want to make the first one catchy. You don't want to make their eyes tired, right? You want to make them, you know, enjoy listening to you and enjoy reading what you've written, right? So yeah. All right, Eric, I'll just send that back to you, buddy, and then we'll do some. Did you find any one of those? I thought they were pretty cool. It's kind of new that. Hold on.
Yeah, I think
Which
between
one?
the two ones, the emoji
Yeah, I
is
was thinking that same
interesting.
one too, man. Because it's like we all like we don't even communicate, right? It's all emojis now, right? We just yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. So I didn't even look at it, but we'll take a look at it together. So that's good. All right. Well, yeah. Before we do that, hold on. Let me get rid of that. Did I already send that to you? I sent that to you. Yeah. Before we do that, what do you want to do for our next session, whenever that may be? Do you want to do an academic essay, or do you want to do a another IELTS?
Yeah, task two would be interesting.
A task two. All right. Well, your mom's got the book, right? So she could just give you a random one, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's up to
Yes.
you. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, right, like freshman, but this is maybe ahead, like thinking too far ahead of us. Freshman, uni, short stories with essay question. Prompts and topics. Okay. So something like this for freshmen. So this is a pretty good school, University of Georgia. They're a really good school, pretty good school. Um, so something like this, Eric, right?
Yeah.
Commencement speaker, right? Told a story from his youth about what he refers to as a blackberry, but he has described these as sweet moments. Tell a story from your life, describing an experience that either demonstrates your character or helped to shape it. Um, these are pretty good. These are freshman essay questions for admission, right? But these are also see how he wrote this?
Yes.
I'm going to well, you guys have a VPN, don't you? You can you
Mm,
well here, I just here, hold on. Just can you access this on your side? Hold on.
yeah, I'm not sure.
Well, hold on. Can you click on that and see if you can
Okay, let me see on the
okay.
computer. Mm, yeah, it's loading and
Okay.
I'm waiting to see.
All right. Yeah, I'll just here. So this we'll do that for our next session.
Okay.
So Eric, next session, please have your good mother give you an IELTS 2 task writing, and please have a look at at
Yeah, I can
freshman,
look at
yeah,
it.
essay questions for the following, maybe for the following session. Okay. All right. Good, bud. All right. Let me pull this up now. Is this the yes? This was emojis. All right. Good. All right, look at these emojis. This will be fun. All right, look at these emojis and write what you think. What are emojis called in Chinese, in Hanyu?
表情.
Biaoqing. All right, interesting.
Yes.
Biaoqing. All right, I never knew that. I knew that. Biaoqing. All right, look at these emojis and write what you think they mean. Yeah, this is good, Eric. This is fun. And when you would use them, oh, this will help you, right? So when you're using it, when you're
Yes.
texting, and wherever if you go to an English nation, right? So after that, answering the following questions. Um, yeah. So when do you think you would use picture A?
Picture A, it's an emoji about two hands clapping. So I would use it when congratulating others for because of meeting very great achievements. Just
Yeah.
congratulations to them.
Excellent.
That's
And
what.
I'm giving what? Yeah, that was fabulous, right? Yeah, congratulations.
Yes.
Right. A round of applause, right? English club, like you
Yes.
in public. Excellent. So I'm giving you a thumbs up. So that's picture B. So what is that? When would you use a thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up. The conditions where we use picture B is really similar to picture A. Also, congratulations. And another condition is when we want to encourage others to do more of a thing, and then you give him or her a thumb up to praise him or her.
Yeah, I would say either, yeah, that's good. Either encouragement or a confirmation,
Yes.
right? Meaning like, Eric, hey man, for next session, right? I want you to do an IELTS 2 task, right? I'm texting you. I want you to do an on ding ding, right? Ding tong. I want you to do an
Yes.
IELTS 2 task as well as look at that website, right? For a future session. You can just, right? Like ding ding, a thumbs up, right? So you're
Yes.
confirming that you understand it, right? Oh, Eric, 有一天你得一个女朋友, right? So when you have a girlfriend, what's the picture C?
Mm, yeah, it's similar like a kiss, and
Yeah.
then the people's eyes are all like, yes, not red, but yes, mostly red hearts.
Yeah, I would say if you've got a girlfriend or boyfriend, that's the one you would use for that, right?
Yes.
And then of course the opposite, what would the picture D be?
This one, there are horns at the top of your head, so it's like an ox, and that means when you're really angry or frustrated with something, and you will send the emoji, and from the mouth bending down, we cannot, and the face's color becoming like violet, we can see that he or her is experiencing great dissatisfaction.
Yes, excellent. One of our sessions, Eric, we definitely need to go over more like some religion, right? Western religion. Because that would be more of the devil, right? An angel or God,
Yes.
right? Versus the devil. So that definitely means it's bad, right? So if you don't like
Yeah.
something, there's the devil, right? So it's not really an ox, right? But it's the devil's
Yeah, the
horns, right?
devil,
Devil's horns, right? Exactly. And then did you
the
say what
vampire.
picture E was, or what did you say for E? Did you say?
Yeah, I think the picture D is like a vampire.
Oh, okay. Well, that's all right. Similar, right? The devil and the vampire. Yeah,
Yes,
they've been closely
and
associated. And then what would E be?
yeah, E, I would say there are two uh conditions when we use it. The first one is when also you're upset, mad about something, and you use this emoji like a bomb. And the second one is when you have some very important and unexpected um sayings or messages to let others know, you will send the bomb picture, and sometimes sending others rumors or some really important news.
Yeah, that sounds great to me, brother. I don't I to tell you the truth, I don't know what that is. So I guess you're right, just dropping a bomb. You're like, yeah, here you go. But I think
Yeah, or very
you're
surprised.
that's good. So after, all right, answer these following questions. All right, Eric, number one, compare ideas in pairs. Or okay, no, that's right. Uh, no, we already did that. I guess we just did. How often do you use these, Eric? Do you use any of these often? Yes or no?
Yeah, I use two of them really often.
Yeah,
They are picture A and picture B. Picture
good.
B, when I talk with you, I just use it very often
Yeah,
uh to let the messages be confirmed, I just use the thumbs up.
yeah.
And picture A, I would mainly use it in our among our classmates. So other classmates, when they are achieving their goals and aims, I would get this emoji for them to show my praise and congratulations. And
Fabulous.
CDE, yeah, I haven't use them.
Very good. Yeah, I don't. You're more of an optimistic person, right? So that's great. And the yin yang, I think we know the yin yang. So let's move on.
Yes.
Oh yeah, so I guess they just wanted you to write what you felt about those, but that's
Yes.
right. So let's go. Yeah, this is number two, right? Is that it? Yeah, we did number two. That was number one, number two. Good. Yes, number two. Reading comprehension. Okay, part A, you are going to read an article about emojis. Page three. First, you have a couple of minutes to skim the text and answer the following questions. All right, it's always good, right, Eric, to read these questions first. You can just read them to yourself, right? Understand
Okay.
what they are. When you're taking a test, right, for a test portion, right, you understand
Yes.
read test strategy. So then we'll go to page three, and good, you can practice your English reading a little bit here. All right, ready to go. We'll go paragraphs here. So go ahead and read the title and then number A.
Yes. Okay. Emojis, enough already. They started out in the 1980s as emoticons, little cartoons you could create using your keyboard symbols. Just a, just a bit of fun to add to your messages. In the 1990s, software developer Shigetaka Kurita took these a step further when he created 176 icons for a Japanese phone company showing easily. Um, yeah, I'm not sure what it
I
means.
think they
So,
easily
yeah, related subjects like
yes,
face,
yes. They just
yeah,
when you
faces.
conjugate the verb, right? Yes. So
Okay.
easily related subjects like face is good.
Easily related subjects like faces, food, and weather. Now, a good 30 years later, there are well over 3,000 different emojis available, and they've become a worldwide phenomenon with an independent existence as merchandise. Poo emoji, pillow, any one, and even a feature film. Yeah, I've seen the film.
Oh, okay.
In
Yeah, it was good. Good.
2000,
Was it a good
yeah, that's
movie?
great. Yeah,
It was
great.
good?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll watch it. All right.
Yeah, I think it was made by the Disney cartoon.
Ah, interesting. All right.
Yeah. And in 2015, the popular face with tears and joy emoji was even named the Word of the Year by Oxford Dictionaries. But could we have reached peak emoji? To answer this question, we need to consider a number of issues. First of all,
Oh
emojis
no,
have
I'll go ahead. I'll just read.
okay.
This is pretty long. Let's see if it. Hold on. Let's. That was wrong. Well, we'll save this. I want to save this one for our next session. I want to see if there's something else we can do
Okay.
here, Eric. Though.
Yeah.
Okay, here. This we'll do this one real quick. So look at this infographic. There's another word, right?
Yes.
And inside of the sentences are true or false. Okay. So what words won't say? Share of total emojis use made up of happy, sad faces and hearts. Okay. So average heart usage, okay, is 12%. French heart usage. Oh, I see. So these are the countries, right? You get it? All right. So what do you think?
Yes.
Is it
Yeah.
true or false, Eric? Yeah, this is good. There's no China. 不中国,不好意思. All right. Yeah, cool. 没中国. So
Okay.
English. Oh, it's U.S. No, Ingwa either. It's just the U.S., Portugal, German, Italian, Spanish, and French. So number one, Eric, go ahead and read it and tell me
Okay.
if it's true or false.
Okay, number one, Italians and Germans differed slightly only in the way they used positive emojis. So French and German, positive emoji.
Italians and Germans, right? Italians and Germans.
Yeah, they use
These two.
positive emojis. I think that's not slightly for the heart. It is a positive emoji, but there would be a 2.5 times where French compared to the Germans.
Yeah, I would say. Well, positive isn't. Yeah, I would say that they're the same, right? Weren't the Italians and Germans the same with the smiley face and the hearts?
Mm, yeah, add up together, they are nearly the same.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is a negative emotion, right?
Yeah,
That's only in the way they use positive.
yeah,
So that's a tough one, but I would say they're equal. Again, let's go to the answers.
yeah, I think it's not really equal.
Talking point. Emoji students explore how. Where was that, Eric? Was that
Mm,
optional number
yeah,
6?
that's 6.
Yeah, we can be our own teachers here. 6. If you can time it, and it also reveals students could work out to complete the first, which is curious. Oh, maybe here. All right, source. So you'd have to click on this to find the answers.
Yeah,
Um, uh, so they copied it from him. How dare they? Lingua House copied without. Uh, oh, I don't know. Then that's too much. That's too difficult. All right, let's just finish these up though, Eric. Let's do.
okay.
Hold on. All right, there we go. What do you think for number 2?
Number 2, in the US or America, there was no difference between Spanish speakers and English speakers in terms of how they used emojis. Um, yeah, let me see.
Oh, so this is Spanish. Oh, this is Brazil. This is in Portugal. So this is
Yes.
interesting. This is difficult to read, really.
Yeah, so I'm a little bit curious why US they use both English and Spanish.
Oh well, we have there's a large Spanish population, right, from Mexico.
Yeah,
Even though it's the number
yes.
one, English is our national language. It's not, if you when you I mean, you lived in Australia, right? So many different, the Chinese communities, right?
Yes.
There's large communities everywhere, and in the West, England and the U.S. and Australia, we have the most variety or different languages, right,
Yes.
spoken, even though English, of course, is our national language, but no one,
Okay.
you can go to areas. I can go to restaurants where they don't speak any English, right? Like in
Yeah, they
America. Yeah.
have that kind of restaurants.
Yeah, for sure. So, all right, brother. So in the US, there was no difference between Spanish speakers, right, and English speakers in terms of how they use emojis. So is that the same? No, that's
Yeah, I
false, right?
think, yeah, false, not no difference, but slight differences.
Yeah, well, 5% more, 5% on
Yes.
positive, and then 5% less or 5% more for Spanish on negative. That's interesting. I don't know if that's true or not. And then this graph doesn't seem right, though, does it?
Yeah, this should be 20%.
Yeah, why is that? That's 10%. That should be
Yeah,
20%.
because one heart stands for 5%.
Yeah, I don't know. This is goofy. All right, one last one, brother. The French.
The French used more than times as many heart emojis as the average person in the countries
More
that
than
were
4
surveyed.
times, right?
Yeah,
Remember to
four
read it
times.
correctly. Yeah, 4 times. Yeah, I think you said 5. Yes. So what do you think?
In the countries
In
as
the
the
yeah, the average. So in the average person, the countries that were surveyed. So the average, right, would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The average of what? Well, this is unclear. I would definitely complain to the IELTS teacher, right, if you get something like this. But I
yes,
would say 15. So did 4 times. So what's 4 times 15?
60. And
Yeah. So I would
yeah, that's
say
more than 55, so that's false.
yes, I would say so too. So good. Once again, you prove that you're a better mathematician than I am, Eric. That was great. Excellent. No, that was fun. We'll go back, but now you have it. I think maybe your parents like to look at those too. Those are kind of funny. So, all right, brother. Yeah. So what's your week gonna be like now? This week?
Um, Yeah, so yeah, really unfortunately, because of the uh great examinations ongoing, we'll have to prepare for them in the next 2 weeks. And then tomorrow afternoon at 2, I will return to school. But yeah, I still have 5 minutes in the morning tomorrow to relax.
Excellent. Very good. All right. 再见，晚安，孔子语。Bye bye,
Yes, that's my Chinese
bro.
name.
Bye bye, man. Have a good night, Eric.
Okay,
All right.
goodbye.
Bye bye, brother. Bye bye. Bye bye.